Today some videos came up about the bricks or brinks, okay, bricks, it's bricks, BRICS, their collaboration and what they're trying to do. My thing is, point simple, all this economical bullcrap and fiat currency and economy, democracy. If y'all really know what I'm referring to, what democracy is versus a country's republic, yeah, if the people of the individual countries were invested, held high as what people think currency is, we wouldn't have this problem with BRICS or any of these democratic issues. Democracy really means, plainly, it's my terminology, a way I put it out there. Democracy is effort gained from the people. So things wouldn't happen if it wasn't for people to go to work and to stimulate the economy, buying things, selling things, trade. It's really what it is. And here's another thing, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. The things I'm learning, that being the only species, the only being, the only creature, the only thing that must pay something to get something. It's stupidity. It's because there are those who are in power, not human power, but are above the human powers, who's also in charge of controlling the human powers to act in the ways they are. Because humans can't totally think for themselves, and when they do, it's only individuals, not a group of the individuals that come together for the betterment of the being, the species, I can't say the entity, we're flesh and blood, we're not entities. But within the democratic systems that we're running in, we're entities. Straw man stuff, your fictitious name, you individually, the being with your names all in caps, meaning you are a business, an entity. So getting into learning about what truly sovereignty is, not just spiritually, but economical sovereignty, and going about through their designs and fixing your status as a flesh and blood being on the land that is now America, that was something else before it was known as America by the white man or by the European invasion, if you want to consider it like that. Whatever it was, if it was half known as Morocco, truly, which is the southwestern of what's now the United States of America. See, the of United States of America. So the land was known as America, and before that it was known as the different tribes and the different peoples and the different cultures before white man came. So, but the world now knows it as America. The United States is the corporation of the land, America. So anyway, this is what it's all about. So it's coming to a head a lot closer. We have 2 more days before the next second BRICS summit happens, and we'll find out from there. But just like what people keep saying, yeah, Americans need to grow their own food, learn about what's actually good for the body, good for the mind, good for the soul. The soul, all of us. What I mean, all of it. You know, it's all coming together, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult, and the ones who are gonna get the worst are those who are not informed, who are misinformed, who don't care about the truth and want to keep coasting in their ways, staying afloat above the water. That's all they're wanting to do. Instead of rising towards the sun. Get out there in the sky. I was just outside and there's nobody outside. No one. It's warm out. Apparently there's a heat index, but it's just warm. There's no wind. That's probably why, where I'm at. But yeah, man, all this stuff about economics, and you see a bunch of people, oh, we invest in blah, 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 and do this, but they don't say how long they've been doing it or how they're doing it, because they're giving away their secrets if they do, instead of sharing the wealth of knowledge. They're the kind of people that's going to go down very fast. Because if this does happen with the BRICS thing, with all those different countries coming together, and the US dollar does fall in November or whenever it may happen of 2023, I've been told about this maybe a year, maybe 2 years ago about something like this. So, I mean, it's coming ahead, and people are not going to know what the hell to do. They're going to panic. They're going to frantically do something just to, hide in a hole in a cave or something. Instead of we didn't control this. It's about cutting back on expenses and being wise with the currency you're using. Everyone. But it's based on greed. And the motivation is greed. And it's through deception and miscommunication why this is happening. So what's the solution? Well, a solution could be is getting those human powers and those other entity powers, extraterrestrial, alien, foreign, other beings that are really controlling things, get them out of the place of powers and bring in the philosophical kings and queens. That's really what we need to do as a global society. Get all these people who you allow in power, you allow them in power by accepting their ways upon you. And since there are independent countries who are okay, since we're not getting the help from the superpowers, the major powers in this democratic world, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to be independent. We don't need your help then. That's why the BRICS has been created. That's what my take is. They were made because of all the bullshit's happening to their people and to themselves. They're not getting a part of the whatever it is. So, it's based on greed. I've been talking and thinking about this for years, that greed is the problem. Get outside in the sun more, go play like you should be, just bathe in the sun a bit more. Best time is during the magic hour, between sunrise and sunset, right in that little bit of space. Go look at the sun. Get that spiritual feeling into you. Get the essence of what God put man, put humans, put beings of light here for. To co-create. Not some destroy and then some get by, and then the other ones, well, they're creating but they're not getting too far because everybody else is not helping. So they end up dead or dying or come up vanishing or something. We all live here together. We all should help. From the little child to the old person, we should all help. and come up with better ways. But I know that democracy is not it. I mean, everyone needs to start reading a lot more, and not just reading, but reading into what the words really mean. History is repeating, history has repeated, and it's not going to stop until more of the enlightened ones, enlightened beings, more of them awaken. There are two types of humans, right? Well, there are leaders and followers. Everyone wants to be their own leader, wants to lead other people. But if you're going to do it in the wrong way of what a leader is not, then you're going to fall, your people are going to fall, the people you're leading are going to fall, and that's not the way to be. That's what I got here. So take this as food for thought, and everybody else come up with some great ideas. Not complaining, don't complain. Think about this stuff, look into this stuff. The internet was created to communicate, to spread messages, to help each other, help themselves, help ourselves, help one another. That's why it was here. Sure, whoever started the idea came from some college, university or something, a science department, and then the military got involved and took it over, of course. This is how it goes. Same thing with GPS. I'm hearing about that. I don't know exactly if it was developed. Actually, I think it was developed by the U.S. Army, or maybe with the Navy. But still, all this, oh, I'm better than you because I got this and I'm doing that. We don't need any of that. We shouldn't have been like this. We're in a different atmosphere now than 2,000 years ago, 800 years ago. I mean, even further than that. We're just going to go down, back, repeating history, and then what? And then what? So that's what I got. So if you want to send me replies or messages about this video, and what you guys think as a suggestion, not a derogatory, a negative one, something that would be better everyone. Because I've been learning in the past year, almost 2 years I think now, truly spirituality, truly human existence. And then along the same lines, 1, 2, maybe 3 years, I think it's been 2 years too, learning about this sovereign movement and becoming totally sovereign, what it really means, legalism versus law. And something came across lately that actual law itself, other than what's considered universal law, these laws that are made up are just man-made, and you don't necessarily have to obey them, but then you're going to get, somehow punished and discriminated and whatever else because of that, because of your belief, because of your idea, because of ancient philosophical, theoretical ideas that are still imprinted on our daily activities today. So that's what I got. Thanks, you guys, for viewing.